Welcome, you made it, and so did we. G'day and welcome to this Australian Open Live. We tell stories, and we're telling an even better story this second tech run, a preview of tonight's Grand Slam doubles final, the men between two unseeded teams, the Australians versus the Europeans, the homegrown product versus the old guard, the establishment. So a quick intro. G'day, welcome to this Australian Open Live. You're listening to The Bloke Who Walks, and we're doing a quick tech run, just testing out the studio software, just making sure the bells and whistles are doing what they're meant to do, that they're whistling and ringing the way we would like them to, so that we don't have any anxieties or surprises later on tonight at 9 o'clock tonight, when this men's Grand Slam doubles final is scheduled to start at 9 o'clock tonight. It was originally 7:30, I think it was scheduled, but obviously they had to just push back the men. Once they worked out when the women were going to start the singles, the WTA Australian Open singles final tonight, between now Sabalenka. Who's the other one? Help me out in the chat if you can, because I'm not that switched on in terms of the women, but in terms of the doubles. So who are these blokes playing tonight? Well, they have barnstormed their way into this final. They absolutely demolished, they dominated the number 8 seeds and gave them a good welcome to Melbourne. Here's your ticket, get your passport, head out the door. And they were hot on the heels of the number 1 seeds, who were demolished. So the number 8 seeds, I think it was 6-4, 6-2, correct me if I'm wrong. And the number 1 seeds got absolutely spanked, demolished in the quarterfinal. These guys, who are they? Rinky, Hijikata, the 21-year-old from Sydney. His parents were competitive swimmers, both Japanese nationals. They moved to Sydney at some stage. The young bloke grew up there, and he's now a tennis pro out of the University of North Carolina, where, how's this for a mixture, a cultural mix of diversity and inclusion. Japanese, first generation Japanese, born in Japan, grew up in Australia, and wouldn't you know it, he's an All-American. My goodness, his mum would be proud of him and his dad. So Jason Kubler, homegrown product. Help me out in the chat. I can't quite remember where he grew up. It might have been South Australia. The 29-year-old journeyman, the absolute embodiment of journeyman professional tennis player. And this bloke has really done the hard yards, but it's so great to see Jason Kubler in the last 2 or 3 years, even 4 years. He's got a hereditary knee condition, four operations on his knees since he was a teenager, 3 meniscus tears in his left knee, 1 in his right, a meniscus tear in his right knee, and sliding around the Challenger circuit on clay courts in South America. I think it was him. I might be wrong. That could have been Matty Ebden. Anyway, these two guys have been an absolute sensation. And if you're a tennis fan in general, and you got excited about box office Nick Kyrgios, the human headline himself, and classy Tanasi Kokkinakis, if you thought their achievement last year was something else, well, get a load of these guys. They saved a match point in their quarterfinal during week 2. Saved a match point in the second set. I off the top of my head, I'm not too sure what the particulars were of that break point. They saved a match point, and they have not looked back since. So that's why you will see our platform is absolutely it's all about Hijikata and Jason Kubler. Well done, you guys. Rinky's secret talent, sleeping on long-haul international flights. Jason Kubler, the mental resilience and a creative way of saving cash. And we've gone through the profiles for these guys. And one of the things that this Tech Run preview lets me do is bring you up to date with what we've got planned. Not what we've got planned, and I'm just getting an error message about the live stream. What on earth is it trying to tell me? Not receiving enough video. Well, I beg to differ. Actually, we are getting enough video because I've got 7.5 minutes worth of viewers with me saying that there must be something going on. Something's going right. So tell me in the chat if there's a bit of a delay or the vision is. It looks all right at my end, but and I've also got a window open here, also replaying what you guys are seeing on screen. So I'm going to ignore that error message. Go away. Go away. Come back and tell us something else later on. But yeah, Jason Kubler, Rinky Hijikata have never played before, and this is their debut Grand Slam appearance as doubles partners. And well done, guys. It's just so nice to see Australians succeeding. And before I rudely interrupted myself before, if you thought the achievement, the Grand Slam men's doubles title going to the Special Ks last year was one for the ages, I tell you what, if Rinky and Jason get through tonight, I'm going to declare it one of the greatest Australian victories in modern day tennis, because of these guys. I wouldn't really class them specifically as battlers. They're seasoned tennis players on the pro circuit. Rinky's doing well after his debut last year on the Grand Slam Tour to be maintaining wildcard entries. But no, this will be a fantastic achievement, and the reason we're focused and stuck with them, stuck fat since their quarterfinal appearance. Once we got wind of these guys getting into the finals, especially as unseeded wildcards, well, why wouldn't you back them? Why wouldn't you back them in to get through? And it's their performance has been something else to witness. It's been sensational. So we're going to take a short break. I'm just going to let you. We'll just take a deep breath. I'm just going to check some things out in the background with the studio, and I'll take a short 90-second or 2-minute break. And when we come back, another update on the platform and some improvements, and we'll go through those, run through some audience topics that we hope you will look forward to, some improvements to our content above and beyond what we've been doing so far this particular Australian Open 2023, and we will chat to you very soon. Don't go away. We'll be right back. G'day and welcome back to this preview live stream of tonight's men's doubles Grand Slam final. And we're just doing a bit of a tech run, just making sure all is good in terms of the technical side of things. So we can just, we can just relax, enjoy the game as it pans out. So just wanted to bring you up to date with some improvements around the content for the live streams since the first two streams, basically learning on the job. Just a bit of a breakthrough occurred on Thursday, happily, and we were able to follow the quarterfinal, and then managed to improve the audio and the sound, and a bit around the music as well. Had some issues with the sound today with the first tech run preview, so that's why we're back for a second one, just to do a bit of a self-audit and make sure it's all going well. So what are the improvements, or what can you look forward to from this Australian Open live at 9 o'clock tonight when we go live and start following these blokes, and we'll be doing a commentary on this match off a Live Score website. And just make sure, I just wanted to mention that with the live scores, if you're watching along on the broadcast or any live stream website where you're watching, the actual match, the vision of the match itself, because of the way vision and footage and audio tends to process from a laptop at our production studios all the way through the cables and the internet, and ends up through our platform to be broadcast live. You might find that there is a little bit of a lag between our commentary, the scores that we're giving you. If there is a lag, it's that's just par for the course. It's not unusual at all for these type of broadcasts, and we hope you enjoy it anyway. So if you do find that you're ahead watching the game live on free-to-air TV, that's fine, and we appreciate you listening in with us. But at the same time, if you're in a situation where you're somewhere where you just cannot get to a TV and you can't get hooked up on the internet, you can't find any way of watching this game, well, and maybe it's really not common for these sort of matches to be broadcast on radio. And then if it is, sometimes you might have the network flipping around between different games or different commentators or different viewpoints, or they're going away to commercials or whatever. No such thing. This Australian Open Live will be dedicated to this match throughout, and we will be non-stop from beginning to end, from go to woe, as they say. So, getting on to the live score broadcast, what the update for you is that we have been able to find our way into bringing you the live score online as we're broadcasting live, and that's generally how it pops up without enhancements. But we've managed to improve this. So during the commentary and as this match pans out live, we haven't been making up these scores, or we haven't been looking at a website scorecard later on and then pretending that it's live. No, we've been doing it live, and the best way to prove to you that we've been doing it, we've come up with this. So we'll be presenting the live scores as they're unfolding, and we'll be flipping backwards and forwards between the various hero images and shots that we've got in our archives, taken from around the Melbourne Park precinct, inside, outside, onside, offside, all the little nooks and crannies we got ourselves into to take some pretty unique images and footage that we've got in store that we can put into content for you. And in between, we'll be backing that up with this brand new ability to show you the scores and summarise the stats. You can see there, and we can blow this up. So just give us a second. We'll give you the full screen so you can see exactly what it looks like. And you can see that this is a pretty comprehensive scorecard when it goes live. That they'll have a summary there. There's a head-to-head. We might go into that a bit, where we can actually go into the draw of this particular tournament and see how these guys got there, and see the scores for Hijikata and Kubler. And we can also tell you a little bit about Hugo, the Frenchman, and Jan Zielinski. No, he's not Ukrainian. He's not related to the Zielinski that we all know so well the last 12 months. No, this guy's from Poland, and I can tell you that he's 36. Now, just as an aside, I like the chances of the Australians actually for this particular matchup, because Hijikata 21, an absolute live wire. Kubler 29, but he, in his mind and the way he goes about things, he'll probably feel like a 21-year-old, because these are the games he was built for. He has got a game, this former world junior number one, he has got a game that was going to take him to some very high places as a junior. I can't remember whether it was Jason Kubler was called the baby Federer. He had literally had that kind of game that people were really predicting really big things and great results for his game. But we will know, we've gone a bit into his background during the previous two live streams covering the finals for these guys. And it turns out that his knee problems have held him back, but not anymore. So I'm predicting a win for the Australians. I know it's pretty early, but they got through they've got through their previous two finals. They have. Let's just see what they did. They dominated the number 8 seeds. They had a barnstorming semi-finals victory. And in the quarterfinals, they absolutely demolished the number 1 seeds. So it's no surprise that they ran right through the number 8 seeds in the semi-final. So I like the chances of these guys because they're coming up against blokes who, you could say both teams, both sides, unseeded. But I don't know. I just think the Australians have got a better form guide behind them, and of course they got the crowd behind them. It'll be their second Grand Slam final on Rod Laver Arena in a row. They've had a day to rest, as have their opponents, but I would tip them to come back more refreshed and really in the best frame of mind possible. But that's not to say the opponents won't, just because they're playing the home with the home crowd behind their opponents. There's no reason why they can't put in a good shift and maybe disappoint us all by taking out the title themselves. And we all know the pressure that Australian tennis players are under when they come home to play their home Grand Slam. It really is a tough thing to do, to succeed at your home Grand Slam. And we only have to look at the track record of Sam Stosur at home. We've had 3 Australian men since 1976. They've tried to win the Australian Open. Since Mark Edmondson in 1976. We've had Pat Cash in 88, the very first final at Melbourne Park ever played. He went down to Mats Wilander. We've had Pat Rafter. Pat Rafter went down. Who was he playing again? Was no, it wasn't Sampras. That's too easy. And Leighton Hewitt, of course, losing to, I'm pretty sure it was Goran Ivanisevic. And you can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. So there you go. That's what we've got to look forward to tonight. I can't promise there won't be any hiccups. And that's why we've done the 2 tech runs. This is the second one. Hopefully I won't have to. We'll do a self-audit, and hopefully this one's exactly on point where we can sit back and relax. Now I'm just going to take another short break because I've just sort of thought of something else I want to let you know from an audience point of view, something else you can look forward to. So grab yourself a glass of water and we'll don't go away. We will be right back. This Australian Open Life brought to you by Wise Words Media. I'm the bloke who walks, and we will chat to you very soon. Back to this Australian Open Live. That's probably the final break for now. I'd say. Hope you're enjoying the live stream. And please, if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. And also, the other benefit of subscribing is if we really want to have a conversation around the Australian Open and tennis in general. And I'm sure that there are many more people out there, tennis fans, whether you follow the Grand Slams or you're an absolute tennis tragic, that you're there every week checking the scores of the various tournaments around the world, that you've got some favourite players, some who are unknown or unloved or not respected enough on the tour, or maybe they're injured, fighting their way back through the Challenger Tours. Well, let us know about it, because that's what we want to do. Like, we're not the experts. We're just the conduit, bringing you the content, bringing you the news around the tennis circuit for the Australian Open. We love Melbourne. We love tennis. We love January in Melbourne, which means tennis, the heat, or not this week, but the heat, and of course some great tennis, great results. And there's always a surprise which drags us in even more, and gives us something a little bit outside of the box to cheer about. And that's exactly what the Special Ks did for us last year with their surprise Grand Slam title win in Australian Open 2022. And we want to see these guys, Kubler, Hijikata, the unseeded wildcard Aussies, Craig Tiley, the Australian Open tournament boss, said, "Here you go, fellas, have one of these, see how you go." And boy, haven't they taken advantage of it, these guys. They absolutely ripped through the number 8 seeds in the semi-final, demolished the number 8 seeds in the quarterfinals, the quarterfinals, and they saved a match point in their final match before the main draw. So before we take a break for the rest of the day, and we'll just show you some images taken from some of the qualifiers last year, the regional qualifiers, as the players were making their way back through the Australian borders after all the rigmarole around COVID and borders and this and that, the other. So the final thing we wanted to let you know about, we're not going to profile the players like we did in the previous two finals, the quarterfinal, the semi-final. We've done that to death. If you want to know where Hijikata and Kubler have been where they've been prior to this year's tournament, how they got there, how they came together, what their strengths are, especially what their key stats are around break points, we'll go back, have a bit of a listen to the previous two live streams. It's worth listening to. You can also listen on the podcast. This Australian Open Life is on the Acast podcast platform, and it's a simple audio duplicate of these live streams. All of our content that's worth putting into a podcast, that's where you'll find us. And you can find us also, we're hooked up to all the usual places thanks to the distribution tools on the Acast platform. So the final bit of info I wanted to give you all to let you know what to look forward to for tonight's live commentary stream for this men's doubles final. What the plan is, we're just going to really try and pay attention and really focus on the score of the match as it's going along, and we want to make sure that we don't miss a trick when it comes to the points and the games as this match evolves, and to fill in so that I'm not talking into thin air and bashing your ears senseless with mindless boring chit chat. But what I'm going to do is present some thoughts and also some reports from each of those matches that the Australians have succeeded in. So, on-court interviews, media reports following their third round win, their quarter-final win, their semi-final win, the interviews that they've had with various news outlets, both print and TV media, and just trying to get an insight into their mindset and see how they've been handling the pressure, see how they've been handling the response from the media, but also the fans. It's a lot of pressure for Australians to take on as they try to perform at their highest level for this tournament. And we know it's tough for them, but we wish these guys all the best, and we just want to see them do well. And if they do happen to go down to the Europeans tonight, we just want them to put in a good shift, and that they can leave it all on the court, and that they can say, well, we had a go, we tried our best, and the better team won on the day. But the better team, we hope, is Hijikata, Rinky, Jason Kubler. I'm backing these guys in for a win tonight. That for the very unique achievement in Australian tennis history, that for the second successive year, an Australian pairing, Unseeded Wildcards, will take out the men's doubles Grand Slam title at Melbourne Park, which will just be fantastic for Australian tennis. Absolutely sensational, and hopefully these guys are already in the last 2 days, hope that they're inspiring the next generation of Australian tennis fans. And just quickly, because I won't remember this little bit of trivia, I won't remember this for later on because I won't make a note, but it turns out that Rinky Hijikata has already become that little kid who's grown up to play Grand Slam tournament tennis with someone he looked up to, one of his tennis heroes, because it turned out that he actually got Jason Kubler's autograph at a tournament about 7 or 8 years ago. Now, I can't remember what tournament it was, but he basically approached Jason Kubler, as you do, as any kid does, approaches their heroes, or just somebody that's they're aspiring to be. And it turns out Jason Kubler that day gave the young kid his autograph. Well, who would have thought all those years ago they'd end up playing together? But stranger things have happened. And speaking of stranger things happening, it's time for the inevitable. We've got to wrap it up here, because we don't want to go on too long, and we want to keep everyone interested that they come back later on tonight. So, thank you again for your patronage. Thanks for being part of our audience, and we enjoy bringing this content to you. We love Melbourne, we love the Australian Open, and there's no better combination than tennis in January, in the January heat at Melbourne Park at the Australian Open. So please leave a like or a comment, or get your act together if you're not already, and become a subscriber, because the more of us that are here talking about the Australian Open and any Grand Slam tournament, the better in our book. So thanks. You've been listening to The Bloke Who Walks. Wise Words Media is the producer of this Australian Open Life, and we really appreciate your patronage, appreciate you being part of the audience, and we cannot wait to bring you this men's doubles Australian Open Grand Slam final between Rinky Hijikata, Jason Kubler, Unseeded Wildcards, against Hugo of France and Zielinski of Poland, also unseeded, possibly also wildcards. And thanks so much. We will see you soon, and look forward to it. So thanks again, and we'll chat to you soon. Bye for now.